Hello everyone, this is Team 3 presenting the U-House. We have the case of the Ukrainian town of Teofipol that has a big industrial area and has asked for an area with eco-housing. Teofipol wants to grow and want 250 families to fit into a housing area, and the mayor is thinking sustainably, so he wants sustainable materials for this construction task. For the task, we propose a basic tiny house model, but it's not going to be tiny house. It's going to be 60 square meters, which is actually quite a normal size for a house in Ukraine. This design can be altered into different kind of varieties, so it fits the need of the people who are going to live in them. As you see here, we cover the basic needs of the worker. A good bed for sleeping, a nice warm shower coming home from work, preparing dinner, and a really good place to relax. The tiny house concept is chosen because it's easy to design, it's easy to actually make in real life. It's smaller, which also means cheaper, and you can decide to use your money on other things instead of more building materials for space that maybe you don't really need. Also, because it's simple, that means more people can join the building. You don't need to be a professional to build in this design. And above all, it's fun. Here is a view from inside of the house, from the living room towards the kitchen, and from the kitchen towards the living room. One way to alter the house, if, for example, the people living in the house has children, is to make another room, as seen here on the left. We make a place for one or two more beds and a desk for doing homework. Another way to build an extra room is to make the house slightly higher. Then you can make a loft or a mezzanine where there is the same footprint as if you were building the extra room. We have a staircase here, and as you see, two beds and a desk on top. If you want to optimize the space and introduce a different design that can break up the landscape, we can put 4 units together and put 2 on 2 together. So, for example, 2 families can live on the ground floor, and 6 people who are single can live in a co-housing situation on top. We love natural materials, and we love building with straw and clay and wood. These are materials that can usually be sourced locally, also near Teofipol. It creates a minimal footprint of your construction, and you will have a reduction of carbon embodied in your materials by up to 95%. The materials are toxic free and good for workers and the people who are going to live in the houses. Other considerations for the sustainable design include a connection to district heating at the central heating system using vents at floor level. High-level windows allow a combination of stack effect and cross ventilation. The roofs can support a light-intensive green roof that will contribute to biodiversity and optimize rainwater catchment to be reused as greywater. Solar panel will offset the majority of the electricity bill and feed back into the wider grid. The house is made from natural materials, such as straw insulation, which gives thermal and acoustic advantages. Clay plaster for the interiors and roof shingles, and wooden structure. So how much does this cost? After the research we have made, we suggest that the first house built with the volunteers will amount to no more than 15,000 euros. But more research has to be made in order to get a more exact estimate. The master plan for the area has been very interesting to make. We have focused a lot on the livability of the area and tried to create many green spaces, even though the area has to contain a lot of people. We have also made sure that there are plenty of different spaces that people can meet each other and spend time together. Most importantly, we have a community house, as seen here with the red roof, where you can hold events such as concerts or birthdays. We support sports facilities, a recycling center, playgrounds, a small shop and a laundrette, and bicycle storage. But most important, the people who live there should also be allowed to have an influence on the different things that make their life nice to live there. The team involved in this build is Raffaella Corrieri, who is an architect from Malta, who is based in London. She's specializing in sustainability in her designs. Konstantin Sokolchuk has been working on the master plan and is working with how water is affecting our buildings and the areas around them. And me, Martin Berland, who came up with the idea and have lived a long time in different tiny house designs and can now say that I'm an expert on how you use the space most efficiently. We are all on board to make this journey continue towards realization. We need to do a few things before we can actually make that happen. But we are very sure that it's going to be possible if the local authorities choose our project to continue to work with. So, thank you for listening to this presentation about the U-House. The U-House is universal for you and, of course, for Ukraine. Дякую.